Are you considering graduate school but need more information? Then don't miss the Graduate and Professional School Fair taking place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Friday, October 25th in the Student Union's Grand Salon. Representatives from more than 25 graduate and professional schools will be there to answer your questions. For more information, call the UT Brownsville Career Services Department at 882-5627. We have two great apartment living options in Brownsville for UTB and TSC students. The Borders Apartments at 375 Medina Luna Road is conveniently located on Highway 7783 and a quarter mile south of Sunrise Mall. Our second option, Los Cedros Apartments, offers countless comforts and is located at 1025 Wild Rose Lane. For an exclusive discount on your first month's rent, call the Borders Apartments at 546-1605 or Los Cedros at 542-1941. Both offers expire October 31st. Hello, and welcome to the Collegian News Webcast. I'm Jonathan Baldwin.
And I'm Victoria Brito. Here are this week's stories.
Has the South Texas College Board of Trustees selected a new company to provide security for campus? Reporter Alex Rodriguez fills us in.
Last Thursday, the Texas Southmost College Board of Trustees awarded a one-year contract to American Investigations and Security International with the possibility of an extension to provide security services to the college. Initially, Trustee Ramon championed Hinojosa motion for American Surveillance Code to provide security services for the college, and Trustee Adel Garza seconded the motion. Board Chair Francisco Kiko Rendon abstained and no other trustees voted in the favor of the motion. Trustee Rene Torres then motioned to award the contract to AISI.
First of all, I cannot, or you cannot put a price tag on safety, especially when it comes to our students, our staff, and our faculty. And I also do not subscribe to the notion that we always have to give a contract or the job for the lowest bidder.
Trustee Trey Mendez seconded the motion for AISI, and Trustee Garza and Dr. Reynaldo Garcia voted in favor of AISI. Hinojosa cast a dissenting vote and Rendon abstained. When the board voted to award a 30-day contract to AISI during its September 26 meeting, Rendon also abstained. He later told the Collegian that he abstained because he has a relationship with the company and did not elaborate. 9 companies submitted proposals for security services. TSC administrators used the following evaluation criteria on the proposals: services to the college, project team and management, references, and the cost of goods and services. The top 3 companies were Aero Security at an estimated cost of $460,000, American Investigation Security International at $444,000, and American Surveillance at an estimated cost of $296,000. Chet Lewis, Vice President of Finance and Administration, said, "A one-year contract is being awarded because the college is looking into creating its own security force, and it would give administrators ample time to evaluate the cost and what it would take to operate." For the Collegian News, this is Alex Rodriguez.
UT Brownsville Center for Gravitational Wave Astronomy celebrated its 10th anniversary last week. Magali Rosales was there.
A science festival, a visit by a Nobel Prize winner in chemistry, and sessions on astronomy, chemical physics, and nanoscience were among the activities that took place.
What have been some of the program's biggest accomplishments in the past 10 years?
So the fact that this center exists in Brownsville is a great accomplishment, and that it's been here for 10 years.
The center opened in 2003 with a $5 million grant from NASA. More than 140 people attended the festival held October 12, which included a physics circus performed by the Society of Physics students.
It mainly like an outreach program. We basically use the fun fact of science to entertain people.
The public also had the opportunity to visit the university's Nompehueno Observatory. The observatory opened in 2007. The observatory is used as a training center for international collaboration called the Transient Optical Robotics Observatory of the South, in which UTV physics students work with universities in Argentina to build an observatory in the Andes Mountains. Other events at the festival included booths with physics activities and remarks from Peter R. Salson, department chair and the Martin A. Pomerantz 37th Professor of Physics at Syracuse University, and Gabriela Gonzalez, Professor of Physics at Louisiana State University. On October 11, Robert F. Curl Jr., one of 3 winners of the 1996 Nobel Prize in Chemistry, presented a lecture titled Conjugated Carbon Networks during the meeting of the Texas section of the American Physics Society, the American Association of Physics Teachers, and the Zone 13 of the Society of Physics Students. The meeting was held at the Student Union's Grand Salon.
The Student Government Association will allocate funds to co-sponsor 2 events this week. Reporter Victoria Brito has the story.
The SGA will co-sponsor Friday's Pink Wars and Saturday's Make a Difference Day. Members of the SGA were all smiles during last Wednesday's Senate business meeting as they approved 2 resolutions related to community service projects. The Senate donated $150 for Pink Wars, a breast cancer awareness event to be hosted by the student organization Arts Lots. It will take place from 7 to 11 p.m. Friday on the Student Union lawn.
I have a few clubs helping. I have CAB that they're going to help with the city side, and they're also going to be splitting some, I think they're doing pizza. Then we have marketing. They're going to do a bake sale, and they're helping me with the mural.
The SGA also donated $150 for Make a Difference Day, an event hosted by the Center of Civic Engagement. In other business, the SGA approved the appointment of Senior Criminal Justice Major Gael Garza as a senator for the College of Liberal Arts.
I wanted to take part of the Student Government Association because I'm involved around school. I'm part of the American Criminal Justice Association, and I recently took part of the Ambassadors Program. So, with those 2 programs and with SGAs, in my criteria, it will be really helpful towards my future.
The next SGA Senate business meeting is scheduled at 11 a.m. October 30th in the main building Salon Casia. For the Collegian News, I'm Victoria Brito. Many students are taking advantage of internships and study abroad programs. Brenda Lopez brings us this week's segment of In the Real World.
We meet Gracie Cano, who took a photojournalism course in Spain and Poland this summer. Please tell me about your experience in Spain on the photojournalism course you took this summer.
Well, I traveled with a group of students and a professor to several cities in southern Spain. We went to Sevilla and Córdoba and Granada and Málaga, and we did a course that focused on Spanish architecture and that worked on our writing as well. So it was a lot of fun.
How did the invite on the exhibit in Poland occur?
After Spain, a few of us went to Poland it was the same course, but it was done in Poland. So we went to Poland and we participated in a photography workshop with the university in Poland. And several of my pictures were selected to be in an exhibition there, so I was invited to the opening.
How many of your photos were exhibited?
There were 9 pictures.
Who funded this trip?
I got several scholarships. I got one from the Office of Global Engagement. I got one from the Office of the Dean of Students, of the Dean of the College of Liberal Arts. And I got another one from the President's Office.
What was the purpose of the course?
Of the course, it was to work on our photography, teach us how to make a good image, how to take good architectural photography, as well as to work on our writing, on writing a good journalistic article.
What did you do over there specifically?
In Spain, we took pictures. We went to the Cathedral Mosque of Córdoba and took pictures there. We took pictures of several cathedrals. We did Malaga. And in Poland, we did a photography workshop where it didn't focus as much as on architecture, it focused more on culture. So we were able to photograph Corpus Christi procession and several of the cities around Kielce, which is where the university was.
How did this course further your education?
It really gave me a wider view of the world. Like, I had never been to Europe, so that was a new experience for me. Also, I got to talk to people from different cultures, and I got to see, it was interesting to hear their perspectives on the United States.
What advice would you give to students who haven't studied abroad?
I would tell them to go. It's really easy to travel as a student because you have a lot of financial support and you have backing from your institution. It's probably easiest to do it as a student, to travel as a student. And it's a great opportunity. I would tell them not to let it go by.
For the Collegian News, I'm Brenda Lopez.
Here's Brenda Lopez with this week's I Think.
In this week's I Think, we asked students what artists they would like to meet and why. Here's what they have to say.
It would be Led Zeppelin, because those guys are the most influential band that has ever been in the earth. They've influenced so many bands like the Foo Fighters, Nirvana. They influenced even metal bands. They influenced rappers even. One of the best bands ever.
I would want to meet the Strip because they're an Irish band from Dublin, Ireland, and that's where I want to go when I get my career and have a family.
Alex from Mana, the guy who played drums, because it was my first concert I went last year.
Si pudieras conocer a un artista, ¿quién sería y por qué?
Bueno, a mí me gustaría conocer a Shakira porque ella, aparte de ser muy talentosa, muy guapa, ha ayudado mucho a la comunidad latina y aparte también, no nomás la comunidad latina, pero sí también como a los niños de África que han sufrido de hambre.
For the Collegian News, I'm Brenda Lopez.
The UTV cross-country teams have wrapped up their inaugural season. Here's Sergio Mata with the story and the rest of this week's sports roundup.
The UT Brownsville cross-country teams finished off the regular season in Live Oak, October 12th. The Red River Athletic Conference meet will take place in New Summerfield, November 8th.
We've been training hard throughout the summer and the fall, and we're just looking forward now to the conference meet.
The teams both placed in the Incarnate Word Cross Country Invitational, where the women finished second in the field of 7, while the men finished 4th. Vanessa Garcia finished 3rd overall and 2nd in her category. David Gann finished with the best time overall for the 5th consecutive meet. The UTB volleyball team defeated the number 22 ranked Columbia College last Thursday. Only 3 sets were needed to take care of the Cougars. Middle blocker Vanja Joksic had a game-high 9 kills, while right side hitter Michelle Marquez racked up 8 kills. The men's soccer team battled their way into a 2nd consecutive draw in their final home game of the season. The Ocelots and the Wiley College Wildcats posted 3 goals each. The men will play at Huston-Tillotson University in Austin this Thursday, and then wrap up conference play against University of St. Thomas Houston on Saturday. The women's soccer team played the last home game of the season as well, defeating Wiley College 6-0, improving to 9-3. The women's team will go up against Huston-Tillotson on Thursday in the final game of conference play. This is Sergio Mata for the Collegian News.
Over the years, ghost sightings have been reported on UTB and TSC campus, but are they real? Victoria Brito tries to find out.
If you've seen signs of ghosts on campus, you're not alone. Many UT, Brownsville, and Texas Southmost College students say they've seen paranormal activity here.
I'm not really sure if it's ghosts or whatever, but on the 3rd floor of the South building, the elevator always comes up, dings and opens constantly. And I don't know why, but it's just really creepy. I don't know why it does that, but it could be ghosts.
David Bujanos, a TSC radiologic technology sophomore, has also seen the South Hall elevator operating with no one in there, and has also heard toilets flushing in empty stalls.
Yeah, there's stuff out there. Out of the old morgue, if you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, there's this thing about this woman in black where if she catches you, she'll stare at you and see what your reaction is.
I remember my freshman year, I was taking a night class and I was walking around and I was going through Eidman Hall and we heard a door shaking, me and a friend, and we go up to the door and the door is shaking real bad, and we go up to it and we try to investigate what's going on, and it stopped. So then we're like, okay, it must be like an AC or something, and we start walking away and the door starts shaking violently, and then there were some music people in there and they go on and they question us if we were shaking the door, and we're scared. We're like, no, it was shaking by itself. So then they just close the door and they lock it, and then they put the top lock on. I'm like, okay, now it shouldn't shake. And then the door started shaking even worse, and it kind of even broke off.
If you didn't know, the area that both campuses now sit on was once Fort Brown. Peter Kuwinda, a professor in the College of Education's Technology, Learning and Innovation Department, has compiled ghost encounters into a booklet titled Some Tales of the Valley. Among these stories is one of a young boy whose spirit roams the campus looking for his mother.
And here was this Canadian couple, and they were asking her, where was that boy? So I explained that he was on the campus. They used to love to walk around the Resaca. And at one time, this little boy shows up, and he just went in between them and held their hands. And so they walked with him, they talked to him, and he told him that to please tell his mom that he's all right. And the strange thing was, afterwards, that they recognized that they were from Canada. She was French Canadian, and he was British Canadian. And although he spoke just one time all the time, she understood it in French, while he understood it in English.
Gorgas Hall was once a hospital. William C. Gorgas, the U.S. Army Surgeon General, would perform autopsies here on patients who had yellow fever. Could those spirits still be lingering around?
We had to work late because we were working on the budget. And as it was, I think, already maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, I decided to go to a pizza place that was open to get something to eat. And so I took off. And supposedly in my office, the lights were on, and the secretary, she could see the light shining underneath the door. And so they went back there wondering, well, is he already back with the pizza or what? But I wasn't there. And when I finally showed up at the front door, they thought that I was playing a trick on them, which I wasn't. And suppose they had also heard steps on the ceiling. And anyway, she decided to quit.
He said there have been more than 20 reports of ghost-like activity.
There's a lady that sometimes shows up, and she would show up and like she would take her bag, her purse, and put it right next to a couple, and would put it there and just stare at them. And then they would naturally look at her funny, but she would get up and walk right through where TSC offices used to be, through the wall, because she has clothing on that shows that she must have lived before Gorgas Hall had that extension. That's here on this campus are told to be very nice. There's no bad.
For the Collegian News, I'm Victoria Brito.
Thank you for joining us this week. I'm Jonathan Baldwin.
And I'm Victoria Brito. Have a great week.